The crossover, pages 197 to 209 in a paper book, or pages 172 to 182 in the ebook. Fourth quarter. The doctor pats Jordan and me on the back and says, "Your dad should be fine. If you're lucky, you boys will be fishing with him in no time." "We don't fish," I tell him. Mom shoots me a mean look. "Miss Bell, the myocardial infarction has caused some complications. Your husband's stable, but he's in a coma." In between sobs, JB barely gets his question out. "Will my dad be home for Christmas?" He looks at us and says, "Try talking to him. Maybe he can hear you, which could help him come back." "Well, maybe we're not in a talking mood," I say. "Joshua Bell, be respectful," Mom tells me. I shouldn't even be here. I should be putting on my uniform, stretching, getting ready to play in the county semifinals. But instead, I'm sitting in a smelly room in St. Luke's Hospital, listening to Mom sing Kumbaya, watching Jordan hold Dad's hand, wondering why I have to push water uphill with a rake, to talk to someone who isn't even listening, to miss the biggest game of my life. Myocardial infarction, noun. Occurs when blood flow to an area of the heart is blocked for a long enough time that part of the heart muscle is damaged or dies. As in, JB says that he hates basketball because it was the one thing that Dad loved the most besides us. And it was the one thing that caused his myocardial infarction. As in, the doctor sees me Googling the symptoms, coughing, sweating, vomiting, nosebleeds, and he says, "You know, we can't be sure what causes a myocardial infarction." I say, "What about donuts and fried chicken and genetics?" The doctor looks at my mom, then leaves. As in, Dad's in a coma because of a myocardial infarction, which is the same thing my grandfather died of. So what does that mean for me and JB? "Okay, Dad. The doctor says I should talk to you, that maybe you can hear and maybe you can't. Mom and JB have been talking your ear off all morning. So if you're listening, I'd like to know, when did you decide to jump ship? I thought you were the man. And one more thing, if we make it to the finals, I will not miss the big game for a small maybe." Mom, since you asked, I'll tell you why I'm so angry. Because Dad tried to dunk. Because I want to win a championship. Because I can't win a championship if I'm sitting in this smelly hospital. Because Dad told you he'd be here forever. Because I thought forever was like Mars far away. Because it turns out forever is like the mall right around the corner. Because Jordan doesn't talk basketball anymore. Because Jordan cut my hair and didn't care. Because he's always drinking sweet tea. Because sometimes I get thirsty. Because I don't have anyone to talk to now. Because I feel empty with no hair. Because CPR doesn't work. Because my crossover should be better. Because if it was better, then Dad wouldn't have had the ball. Because if Dad hadn't had the ball, he wouldn't have tried to dunk. Because if Dad hadn't tried to dunk, then we wouldn't be here. Because I don't want to be here. Because the only thing that matters is swish. Because our backboard is splintered. Text messages from Vondi. 8:05. Filthy, the game went double overtime before the last possession. 8:05. Coach called a timeout and had us all do a special chant on the sideline. 8:06. It was kind of creepy. The other team was LOL. I guess it worked, cuz 8:06. We won 40-39. We dedicated the game ball to your pup. 8:07. Is he better? You and JB coming to practice? Filthy, you there? On Christmas Eve, Dad finally wakes up. He smiles at Mom, high fives Jordan, then looks right at me and says, Filthy, I didn't jump ship. Santa Claus stops by. We're celebrating Christmas in Dad's hospital room. Flowers and gifts and cheer surround him. Relatives from 5 states. Aunts with collards and yams. Cousins with hoots and hollers and runny noses. Mom's singing. Dad's playing spades with his brothers. I know the nurses can't wait for visiting hours to end. I can't either. Uncle Bobby's turkey tastes like cardboard. And his lemon pound cake looks like jello, but hospital Santa has everyone singing and all this joy is spoiling my mood. I can't remember the last time I smiled. Happy is a huge river right now, and I've forgotten how to swim. After 2 hours, Mom tells everyone it's time for Dad to get some rest. I hug 14 people, which is like drowning. When they leave, Dad calls Jordan and me over to the bed. Do y'all remember when you were 7 and JB wanted to swing, but all the swings were filled? And Filthy pushed the little redhead kid out of the swing so JB could take it? Well, it wasn't the right behavior, but the intention was righteous. You were there for each other. I want you both to always be there for each other. Jordan starts crying. Mom holds him and takes him outside for a walk. Me and Dad stare at each other for 10 minutes without saying a word. I tell him, I don't have anything to say. Filthy. Silence doesn't mean we have to run out of things to say, only that we're trying not to say them. So let's do this. I'll ask you a question. Then you ask me a question. And we'll just keep asking until we can both get some answers, okay? Sure, I say. But you go first.